This video is really ideal for someone who is shopping for a laptop right now or wants to shop for a laptop in the very near future, so you get an idea of what's happening currently in the market. This is going to be a very long video, so buckle up, grab some popcorn. You can see how long it is right here. And if you just scroll down a little bit, you can find these time codes so you can skip to a certain part of this video so you don't have to listen to me watch for hours about a computer that you're not gonna use because it has a certain operating system. Okay, with that aside, let's actually get into it. And first of all, we have the best budget computer. This has to be the Acer Aspire 5. This laptop is great. It offers so much for $500 or less. I just found a deal on this thing for about $450 in Amazon, but obviously you can get it for a little bit more, not during Black Friday, but right now it's going for about $400, which is a great deal actually. But overall, this laptop is a great deal. First, because it's super affordable, one of the cheapest laptops you can buy right now, so it's definitely budget. It has a full keyboard layout, so you can use a number pad if that's your thing. You know, it's good for some people, I guess. I'm not a huge number pad full keyboard person. Now it has upgradable parts, which is just amazing. So you can upgrade your CPU or other parts in the future as well if you want to improve your performance, but not buy a whole new device, which is actually also good for the environment too. So I don't know why a lot of other devices don't have this, especially more expensive devices. But yeah, we want to see this more. However, we don't, honestly. However, the fact that this laptop has it makes it even better than what it is already. It has lots of ports too. So you get HDMI, which you rarely see on a laptop these days. You get USB-A and all of your newer ports as well, like USB-C. But overall, I would say it's definitely a good package. Two things it lacks. One is the trackpad. It's awful. Like, I want to burn it. So I definitely recommend getting a mouse with this computer. You do not want to use that trackpad. It simply sucks. Another thing I don't like is the battery life. So if you're really a power user, you'll use your computer a lot. First of all, the trackpad sucks, so you're not going to have the best experience. And second, it's going to die by the time you actually get to use it. So I would recommend a charger and a mouse everywhere you go. And if those things sound like a lot of work to bring around, don't buy this. That's simple. But if you don't care about using your computer that much, or you just use it a little bit, or you're using it as a computer that you plug in to a display and only sometimes take it out, then yeah, I guess this is actually a really good choice for you. Kind of a niche category, but again, it kind of does work well too. So overall, I guess I'll give the Acer Aspire the winner for the budget category. We do have a runner-up though, and it is the Lenovo Chromebook. Any Lenovo Chromebook, doesn't matter if it's a specific model. The reason why I went with Lenovo in specific is that, first of all, they make the highest quality Chromebooks, so there is less plastic in them, and also I have used them personally, I've reviewed them personally, so I know what it's like to actually use one. However, I do also like to consider an Acer Chromebook, but I mean, if you're going for a Chromebook, they're gonna be mostly similar. Some other choices you can have are some tablet-like Chromebooks. There's a really good one by Lenovo that they also make. I'll link it in the description below so you guys can check it out. But here's what it's called. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, you get the idea. You can buy a lot of good Chromebook stuff too, it turns out, but most of the stuff that you're gonna buy, unfortunately, are not gonna be that high quality, but they're gonna be cheap. So if you don't care about quality that much and you're gonna buy a better computer in the near future, yeah, I guess a Chromebook works too. Okay, so our next category number 2 is, well, work. Believe it or not, a lot of people do go to work. So they need a laptop for work. The laptop that they're looking for is something that's not too expensive, so your boss won't get mad at you for spending too much of the company's money. And second, it needs to run applications very well, so it needs to still have some power. We are looking at i5 devices or i7 Intel devices here. No i3. We don't want that stuff. It's the Dell XPS 13. You get the idea. So this laptop, the reason why I like it so much is because it offers the most purest Windows experience in my opinion. Now it is not made by Microsoft who make Windows. However, it is also much cheaper than Microsoft laptops and offers a lot better performance than them. So the XPS 13. I do like to consider it the XPS 13 because, well, it's the Dell XPS 13. It's the most popular Windows laptop out there. So, overall, Dell XPS 13 is a really good choice. It's a family of laptops. You have the XPS 15, which is a little bit bigger. I do also recommend that one. The display on that is much better than this. But there is also the XPS 13 Plus, which is my personal favorite, which happens to have a very minimalistic flat keyboard. It has an invisible trackpad. It has super thin bezels, overall futuristic looking design. And yeah, I think Dell has a lot going for it. So XPS 13 would be my choice for work laptops. We do have a runner-up though, and it is the Microsoft Surface Laptop 5. It's a reasonable laptop for about $1,200. I would also consider a MacBook, but I mean, a lot of workplaces like to have Windows applications and Microsoft applications, like, Spreadsheet and stuff like that. And Spreadsheet runs best when it's running on Microsoft software, not Apple-made software. So that's why I do want to consider a MacBook too, but a Microsoft Surface would also make it to the list because there are also some really good tablets/laptops out right now from Surface. My personal favorite in this category would be the Surface Laptop 5. Okay, next category number 3. That would be the students category. You see, work and students are a little bit different. Both of them require lots of power for a cheap price. However, one thing that students have that work doesn't necessarily require is design. It has to look good. This does not look good. I know they made it silver. They tried to make it look like a MacBook. They failed. And on the latest XPS laptops, it's just ugly. I don't like the way it looks. Yes, the XPS 13, that I guess you can say it looks good, but the rest of the lineup, sorry man, but it's just not cutting it, bro. So, for students' laptops, I actually recommend the M1 MacBook Air, not the M2. You might ask why? Well, the reason is because the M2 costs about $200 more and gives you a MagSafe port, gives you a larger display, a better webcam, more colors, and a full row function row. So 5 things realistically that you actually get, which are kind of advantages, I would say. You could argue with me, but 5 advantages with the newer M2 MacBook Air. However, with the old model, you obviously don't get these 5 advantages. You could argue again still here, but you don't get those 5 advantages. However, it costs $200 less. I think these extras that Apple has added to the M2 version should only cost about $100 extra. So as long as you do have the extra $200, yeah, get the M2. It's a better laptop. However, if you don't have the extra $200, which a lot of students don't have and are trying to save the most amount of money possible, I would still get the 2020 M1 MacBook Air. Pretty simple. I've tried both of the devices. I've had a little bit more time with the M2, not the M1. But both of them can last a long time for you. The M1 is going to get less software updates in the future, but still, it runs those updates at least really good because the realistic difference in performance is about 10% between M1 and M2. I'm not talking about the Pro M2 or something like that. I'm talking about the regular vanilla M1 and M2. Yeah, it sounds really confusing, I guess. However, we do also have a runner-up, and that is the Surface Pro 9. The fact that I like about this device is, first of all, it looks cool, and second, it runs Windows. So if you have some apps that don't run on Mac, I know some architect applications which can't run on macOS because they're not designed for it. But yeah, if you need an app that doesn't run on macOS and you are a student, there has to be options for you. So the best option, in my opinion, would be the Pro 9. Pretty simple, actually. But the Pro 9 offers a tablet. So for artists that are going to university or college, whatever, and a lot of people like to draw, let's say, and it still comes with a keyboard. It doesn't come with a keyboard included, but when you add the keyboard as an accessory, it still costs about the same as a new MacBook Air. So you get the idea. It's the same money, but you also get a touchscreen, and you get a tablet experience instead of a laptop experience, and still is a 13-inch model. Okay, next laptop category would be the best gaming laptops. Now, I'm not a huge gamer laptop fan. I feel like they look too ugly, for me at least. They are usually made out of plastic. But what really matters in a gaming laptop is not the design, not the material choice, none of that. What really matters is, first of all, what I've learned is if it has RGB lights. Yeah, I know. And number two is whether if it has a good graphics card, because a lot of games, believe it or not, need good graphic card to run all their beautiful graphics. So, in this case, I actually want to give it to a Razer computer. Razer Blade 15 is my choice here because, well, it's a gaming laptop, it has RGB lights, and it has a really good graphics card. So, what I've learned so far is, you need an RGB light, and second, you need a really good graphics card if you're looking for a gamer's computer, and then you can call it a gamer's computer. But the Razer Blade 15 costs like $4,000. So if you don't want to pay $4,000, your only choice would be to go with the Acer Nitro 5. Don't know how I feel about the looks of it. It has these back ports which are so weird. I don't like the way it looks. But at least it has the good graphics card and it has RGB lights, which passes the test. So both of those are solid gaming computers. But I mean, what about coding? There has to be some options for coding too. Well, there is. The main laptop I recommend here is the 14 and 16-inch laptops from Apple, the MacBook Pros. The reason is because they're powerful. They have a fan, and that's what every other coder also uses. So, I actually recommend the 16-inch in this case because it has a larger fan, so more air, so you can cool it down more, and it has a larger battery, so it's going to last more, so you can code for longer. That's all really appreciated. Okay, next category. Best video editing. This one is very close to my heart. And technically, this one is really hard to find because, there are a lot of good video editors that are actually gaming laptops. The reason for this is because gaming laptops have really good graphic cards, and what you need for editing is a good graphic card. So that's why there are all these different gaming video editing laptops out there, which look awful, but I mean, they do edit very well. However, they're out there. I don't recommend them. I don't like them. I don't think gaming laptops should be used for video editing. That's just not what they're actually designed for. But what is designed for video editing is the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pros. In this case, I recommend the 16-inch again because it has a larger display, so you're going to see more. to actually edit more. So it's gonna be better for color coding and whatnot. It is also an OLED panel, so that's always really nice. And Apple is really famous for making the best speakers out there, and that's certainly the case with the latest MacBook Pros too. The speakers somehow sound a lot better than Windows laptops. So if you are planning on editing without headphones, which I mean is not really recommended, but I do it all the time, and I know a lot of other YouTubers do it all the time too, then yeah, a MacBook Pro would be awesome. Plus, it has a really good media encoder, and it runs my favorite video editing app, which is Final Cut Pro, if you believe it or not. So yeah, you can't run Windows, you can't run Final Cut on Windows, but you can run both Final Cut and Adobe Premiere Pro, which are the two main video editors on both Windows and MacBooks. So a MacBook is better in this case. Okay, so what is the best laptop out there? This was really hard to choose, but since the MacBook Pro 14-inch and 16-inch model won the most categories, gonna have to give it to that one. But yeah, what do you think? You think that the 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros were the right choice for the laptop this year? Or do you think it was the wrong choice? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much for staying until here and watching this video. What is your favorite choice? I would love to know in the descriptions below. What did I miss? Please let me know in the description below. I probably missed like 50 laptops that you guys are going to recommend in the description below. In the comments, I mean. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing. To all the people who joined the HQ 4K YouTube channel recently, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Peace, and I'll see you on the next one.